Kind of reviewing, like always, getting into last week's game. Just pleasing to go on the road and to play really a complete game. I thought our guys really, again, had a good focus to them. Really executed well in all parts of the game, and just really, when you don't have any turnovers, the ball is really never on the ground all day. And I thought offensively we really executed. We were very physical in how we ran the football, and that helped set up a lot of play-action passes, and we really had great protection for most of the night. When you can complete 18 of 21 passes for over 300 yards, 5 touchdowns, Sam had another incredible day and ran for another one. So, he was one of our players of the game. Joaquin Iglesias also had a big night. Also one of the players of the game. John Cooper, Jermaine Gresham. Also Jermaine, with a couple another big, TD receptions and a great run after the catch. It just continues to be a major weapon for us. Ryan Broyles, again, had a big play. So all those guys, were mentioned as, candidates for players of the game for us. And then defensively, very solid once again. I thought with a quarterback who's very mobile and has run the ball on everybody, we really, corralled and contained the quarterback most of the night. He got out on one occasion and scored. The rest of the time, I think we had four sacks, another sack that we face masked him on, but we're back there pressuring him all night. Coverage was good. Guys that were players of the game for us, again, Ryan Reynolds, Gerald McCoy, those guys had really big nights. Austin English, again, had a big night. Brian Jackson in the secondary recovered 2 fumbles and pulled one out that he recovered. And the safeties were excellent. Lindy Holmes and Nick Harris had a lot of big plays. So anyway, very solid. I thought our kick coverage, for the most part, improved. We had 3 of them where we held them inside the 20. One almost got away, but again, I thought we were more aggressive overall, tackled better, that kind of thing. Again, real solid day, great environment out there, beautiful place to go play. Fortunately, we played well, and now we're into this off week. We're going to spend extra time on TCU, of course. And, in a day, look at a little bit of Baylor and forward from there, just, looking at some of our future opponents. But for the most part, we'll get some extra work on TCU as well.
Can this team be special?
It has a chance to be. It's not there yet. It's way too early for that. There's only been 3 games, but it's been a great group to work with the way they have. Their attitude has been outstanding in the way they focused and are getting ready for games.
Bob, what's your take on the play that Granger got hurt on, the 3 guys on him and that kind of thing?
3 guys didn't go and say, hey, we're going to twist his ankle. He got caught in the turf. You get double teamed in there. That happens sometimes. But in the end, there ain't anybody here whining or complaining about anything.
That was actually a triple team, which I haven't seen very often. And secondly, how long will he be out?
We don't know how long. It's one of those, it's a sprained foot, so we'll see. I don't know what to tell you there. That's something we'll just have to see. It's just been a couple of days, and fortunately we don't play for 2 weeks, so hopefully he'll be back for TCU, but we'll just have to gauge it as it goes.
Bob, you just mentioned 3 guys in the secondary and Ryan Reynolds. That's a big chunk of that back 7 that supposedly we were concerned about before the season. How's that played out in Ryan's
Well,
part?
so far it's been excellent. So far they've played really well. But it's just a concern to the media. Whoever graduates, it's a concern who's coming in. And that's how it is every year, and it is for everybody. I'm not complaining. That's how it always goes. But we've seen these guys for quite a while, and we're confident that they're the caliber of players we're used to having in those positions, making plays and being successful for us. And we have seen that, leading into the season enough to feel good that, hey, they're going to step up and be the guys that we're used to having or better. And I think they have been that. They've played in a really good way and have been very solid and are improving all the time. And so we've got a lot of confidence in them.
Coach,
Want to finish that, Mike?
Yeah. I was the solid play they've had what part has Ryan played in that?
Well,
Obviously, middle linebacker is a big part of it.
It's a huge part. He has been very solid, very, the other day I think he graded out 95%, and that's hard to do, and especially with Coach Venables grading him. And he, what people don't realize too, he orchestrates the whole deal. He's getting the front lined up. He's straightening out his other linebackers, and he does a lot of extra that people don't realize. And he had an excellent night, overall.
Their players were quoted after the game as saying what we practiced during the week isn't what we saw out there as far as speed of your offense. Is it has developed more successful even than you thought? Because a lot of times defenses are still getting set, seems like.
Again, it just depends on what we're doing, but overall it's been very effective, and our guys are are playing, working it in a really great way, and we have a lot of speed, on not just on offense, really in all parts of our team. So we got guys that are stepping up and making plays and playing fast.
How did the no huddle come about? Did you ask Kevin one day? How did that come about?
I know. Well, we've always done it to some degree in our 2-minute drills, and overall our 2-minute drills in the past few years have been really pretty good. But more than anything, I just brought it up to Kevin after the season last year that we need to really look at going to it. My reasons were one, I don't want anyone getting more snaps than we do. I like our chances if we snapping it as much as they are that we're going to come out ahead. Other reasons were I felt the more and more teams that are doing it, the more it's going to help us defensively. We're going to be, if we're going against our offense every single day, it's going to make our defense better and more used to it, communicate quicker, and allow us to even advance defensively in some ways as well when defending it. And I also think that the emergence and the poise of Sam Bradford. A year ago he's a redshirt freshman, hadn't played at all. I don't know that you want to come out and do that right off the bat with him, but now that he's got a season under his belt, has played in such an efficient, good way that you got a great guy behind there to manage it all. And that, I think his development is another part that, felt that, hey, this can be good for us. And I knew, Kevin, of course, and a lot of our coaches, but Kevin for sure has had a strong background in it. He's one of the guys that was the first ones doing it before it was real popular. He didn't get a lot of notoriety doing it, there at Northwestern, but they did it well.
I was going to ask you what you just spoke about, but did you expect that maybe you would have done this earlier if you hadn't had some of the quarterback issues you had in the last 5 years?
That's possible, but the situations we had, and we were going to do, and I think it's fair to say we managed them pretty good. I think our offensive coaches, I'm not patting myself there. Kevin Wilson, Josh Heupel, with removing a quarterback the day you start camp, and then a redshirt freshman the next day, and the next year they come in and do the job they did and win the championship. They're doing a great job coaching those guys.
I would assume that speaks to him as an offensive coordinator, that he has been able to get away from what he was known for at Northwestern and still had success.
It shows his diversity in playing and he's Kevin's a smart guy and plays to our personnel strengths. And it's like when Paul was here, he had good quickness and all, and really Sam does, and you see us move in the pocket more because those guys are so natural with it and throw well that way. So it gives you, Kevin does a great job, I think, of playing to our personnel strengths.
Bob, do you think that with Josh Heupel being able to concentrate on the quarterbacks, that's helping that position more than even, say, when Chuck was doing it because he had the entire offense?
I'm not going to sit here and act like Chuck. What he did with Jason White is incredible.
Sure.
Well, then to me, they're not to be compared. What he did with Jason White with two rebuilt knees from shotgun and then from under center, is pretty remarkable. So
he would talk about the fact with some of us that he spent a lot of time coordinating. He didn't get to spend as much time with the quarterbacks probably as Josh has. And maybe
I don't know. Maybe that's something. I don't necessarily see it that way. I saw Chuck in every quarterback meeting. He wasn't walking around to the offensive coaches. He's in the quarterback meeting when the quarterbacks are there. And when our offensive coaches are meeting, Josh Heupel's in there with all of them at the same time. So I don't necessarily see that as a. Now I do believe Josh is a great teacher and is doing an incredible job, and I feel too, it's been, he has having played the position, he understands it, he relates to him, he also was taught by Chuck, so he's teaching the same things Chuck was teaching, but Chuck also being a quarterback, they relate to each other. I think they really understand and they know how to talk to one another, and anyway, I think being in that position gives them a different insight that maybe some others don't have.